So this is just going to be a ramble about work. Finding work right now is a very interesting time. I've probably sent out, I don't know, 100 resumes by now. And I'm not unskilled, but there's so much out there that you could have experience in. And employers right now seem to want you to have experience in all of the things. And I don't know if anybody has experience in all the things. You might have experience in some things, and you might have experience in some things that are similar to the other things, such that you wouldn't have a problem learning the other things because you're familiar with some of the concepts. I mean, the reality is, especially in my realm, you might have 10, 20, 30 or more different tools, but really they do the same 5 things. And you should be able to say, no, I don't know that thing, but I know these things. And these things deal with the same concepts. So I don't see how that would be a problem. I remember it was 2020 or 2021. I can't quite remember. The pandemic was on. People were locked down. Everybody was searching for workers. At the time, I had a good position that I was very happy in. And employers emailed me at my work email asking me if I was open to talking to them. And in some cases, actually, were phrasing it like, are you willing to jump ship? They didn't say it in exactly those ways, but pretty close. Some of them were really bold, I'll just say that. And I know at that time, it seemed to be flipped. It seemed to be that employees or potential employees held all the cards when it came to these things. When it came to applying for jobs, it seemed that we had the upper hand, and people that wanted employees really had to be competitive for us. And somewhere along the way, the pendulum swung, which it does, and now it's the employers that are doing that. I think it's more unfair that employers do this because we live in a society that has determined that you must make money in order to be a valued member of society. I don't agree, but that seems to be the thing that I don't know who, but somebody decided on. Anyway, I don't know how many interviews I've had at this point. Probably about 6, I want to say. Some very sketchy, some not so sketchy. The interesting thing about right now is if you are looking for remote work, you could pretty much be working for any company in the world. And that's a beautiful thing. But what isn't a beautiful thing is you can come across companies from all over the world that might not value you at all. And they might want to really get you to underbid yourself. Please don't do that. You are worth advocating for. And there was one company that I interviewed for, and for the life of me, I couldn't find their website anymore on Google. I don't know, maybe I was using the wrong terms. And I thought to myself, well, at the bottom of a company email, usually there's a whole signature thing, and it'll have the employee's name, it'll have contact info for the company, and it might have like the company's website and social media and whatever. So I went to their email and I clicked on one of the links that was there. And I thought that I clicked the one for the website, and I got to a discount commerce site very much like Temu, only it wasn't. And I'm like, okay, weird. So I went back to my email and I looked at what other links were there, and I clicked on another link. I got to their website as expected. So I was perusing their website, thinking that I had accidentally, or the other link had accidentally been mislinked to go to one of their customers' websites. If everything else was top notch, I could give the side eye to that, but I could deal with that. But it turns out, no. So I got to their website, I'm looking through their website, and I get to a point of their website where I want to go back to their homepage. And I click a link to take me back to their homepage. And where does it take me? It takes me out of their website altogether and back into this discount commerce website. When this happened, alarm bells were going in my brain that even if this was a legitimate job that they were wanting to recruit for, it probably wouldn't be a good place for me. I can't see this working out at all. And so I went to the interview. The other thing interesting about this interview is they emailed me the day of the interview to set it up. There was quite a bit of a time difference, and they emailed me at 4 a.m. Now, for whatever reason, I couldn't sleep. And I checked my email, and I just happened to catch their email. They wanted to maybe set up an interview at 6:30, or was it 7 o'clock in the morning? It was early. And that was fine. I was up anyway. It was weird. It was fine though. And all together, the website, the links that went to this commerce thing, them texting, or not texting, but emailing super early in the morning with the expectation that you would A, see their message, and B, be able to hop on a call without any respect for time zones. I have had other interviews with people in various different time zones around the world, and you know when they're legitimate, more so because of the respect that they give you with how your world is and the time that it is in your world. Not always, But usually, if it's a legitimate company, it is aware that time zones exist and employees work and are expected to work between certain hours. This was not a company like that. After the interview was scheduled, that's when I did all my digging and I discovered what I discovered for the website. And then I decided, this would be a great opportunity for me to practice my interview skills. But this isn't a job that I will want. I will not work for this company. I don't care what number they spout that they will pay me, because more than likely they will pay you nothing and you will give a bunch of free labor. So if you go through interviews, you will come across people with different skill sets for interviewing. It's just like anything. I mean, there's people that are really good interviewing, people that aren't, people that make you feel really welcome and easy, and you're just, you're not stressed around them. And then other people that will ask you a barrage of questions and have a very robotic and cold demeanor to them. And then you'll get some other people that just don't know what they're doing. I want to say the person that I interviewed with was between the person that doesn't know what they're doing and the cold robot. There was lots of questions that came up and a lot of floundering, a lot of not knowing what needed to happen. And even some questions that made me think that they didn't know what my occupation was. And that was interesting. I've never been to an interview where they don't know what job I'm interviewing for. But anyway, it was a fair interview. I mean, we got to where we needed to go for the interview. I would say it was about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes. They asked me what my wage expectations were. And generally, I recommend that anybody doesn't tell them. Or at least put this back on them about what their budget is for the role. It's very unfair, I think, to put potential employees in a position where they are doing themselves a disservice. I want to flip that. If a company wants to know my going rate, my budget, whatever, I feel it's well within my rights to ask them not only what their budget is for the role, but what is their payment philosophy. Because your starting pay might be fine, but I have worked at places that have decided on a work philosophy, a compensation philosophy really, where you don't get any compensation adjustments unless you're promoted. So if a company wants you to disclose what wage expectation you have, I think it's perfectly fair to ask them what their budget is for the role, and also ask them about their compensation philosophy. It's definitely to your benefit to do that. Because without that information, how can you advocate for yourself? A lot of companies might be hoping that you're going to give a low number. you are going to sell yourself short. You have all these skills that they want. Now they're just hoping that you will sell yourself for less. So in that game, I would encourage you to feel okay about that, to feel okay about not selling yourself short. Don't undercut and chop yourself down at all. You are a worthy person and you deserve to live in this world at a fair compensation rate. And it is fair to ask them for more information before you can determine what different things are. Right now, the companies are holding the cards. It's super competitive out there. But eventually, the pendulum's going to swing the other way. And it's just interesting to me how we play these games. The employers play these games. And I don't know if when it swings this way, if we're being unfair. I think, and I tend to think and believe, I think the employees just want what's best that will help them live in the world. I don't see them asking for anything that's ridiculous. I really don't. This has just been a ramble. I honestly am very confused out there. I don't understand how there's companies that you apply to that you need to make a profile for. And you need to upload your resume and your cover letter. But yet you need to re-add everything in your resume and cover letter. I don't understand that. I also don't understand having to customize each and every resume that you have. Don't get me wrong. You might customize a cover letter. You might customize a lot of things. But generally, I have a few good resumes that highlight a different thing. None of them are incorrect. None of them lie about anything. But they just highlight a different set of skills. And I've really put a lot of work into these resumes. And they work for 95% of the postings, I find. They detail what tools I am experienced in, my experience themselves, how I can relate to different aspects depending on the resume. It's been looked over by recruiters, by friends, by myself. So I don't understand the having to create a whole new customizable resume. In my field, a lot of the job postings are going to ask for very similar things. So for a resume or a cover letter, I can have my cover letter, a basic cover letter, 75% of the way there. And maybe I have to customize a couple bullet points. They might be specific to them. If there's a place that I'm really interested in that has something else, I might add another tiny paragraph to really hit home how I'm interested. But that's it. I might spend 3-4 hours job searching. And then I take a break. Because even when I'm working, I'm doing different things. I'm looking at emails. I'm going here, I'm doing this task, I'm going there and doing that task. I'm able to take my computer from the room that I'm in to a different room. And at lunchtime, I'm able to do lunch stuff. So I never spend all day job searching. As a disabled woman, I can't spend all day doing anything. Maybe sleep. I could probably spend all day sleeping if I'm feeling really bad. But I can't, no. Most other things, I can't spend all day. I need to have some kind of variation, some break. And I encourage you to have those breaks too. I encourage you to find something in your day that makes your heart soar. This video has been a bunch of rambling about job search. And maybe this is all, showing what not to do. Because I'm searching just like the rest of you, so I can't be saying the ultimate of everything. Don't take this as gospel. I am not educated in this world that we see ourselves in, as far as recruiting and job searching and whatever. This is just what I'm doing. And if I'm wrong, if I find things along the way, I will tell you what those things are. All I can say is, please don't lose yourself in this time. You're still valuable and awesome, and some place is going to hire you, and they're going to know that you're valuable and awesome. And there's going to be a time when the pendulum swings the other way and employees are asking for the moon, and the companies are going to have to compete. And I hope where you land appreciates you enough that when that happens, you don't see how they're competing and just jump to another offer. I hope that this place that you find appreciates you. Anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you later.